All right, hello everybody, and it's a brand new week and another nice set of draw along shows with me, your host, Kyle Webster. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're all ready to do some drawing and to relax and to hang out together and just have a good time. This show is for all ages. Anybody that wants to follow along with the step-by-step drawing, anybody that wants to jump in the chat, give me a suggestion for something to draw at the end of the show. Hey, this show is for you. Hey, if I could just at the top of the show, for a moment, just ask everybody, hey, listen, cut it out with this nonsense, insulting and hurting our Asian American friends, our Asian friends. This is just not okay. You know, I grew up in Singapore, and I grew up in Pakistan, and I grew up in Taiwan, and the majority of my best buddies look nothing like me. Everybody is a wonderful person, just the way they are. It's ridiculous that this racism continues and that people will continue to behave this way. So check yourself and remember that we all want the same thing. We want to be friendly. We want to be loved. We want to laugh. And that's all I want to say about that. So let's just remember that as we go forward. Okay, so I need you all to be able to go out and grab something to draw with. Now this could be a pencil, a pen, a marker, a crayon. It could be, as I've said before, a nice katana sword that you just take off the wall, and you're going to dip it in some ketchup, and then you can draw all over your parents' favorite carpet. You know, this is something I tell you all the time. Katana swords make really excellent drawing tools. Now, if you get in trouble for what you've just done with the sword and the ketchup on the carpet, well, please don't blame me. You know, blame your neighbor. Alrighty. Why don't we get going? Now, I wanted you to know that it has been exactly 1 year since we started this draw along show. We started it because people were stuck at home, needed something to do. So, hey, it's a birthday. So happy birthday to the show. And speaking of birthdays, why did the boy feel so warm on his birthday? Do you know why? It's because people just kept toasting him. All right. Well, it's time for us to get to drawing, everybody. So grab that thing you're going to draw with, whatever it is, and we're going to get started. Let's say hi to some nice folks in the chat who've joined us today. Hello, Umacorn. Hi, Steve. What's up? Hey, Senchal. Nice to see you. And Golden and Afroha and Clever. Look at all these nice people joining in for the show. Thank you so much. Who else is here? I see Sam is here as well. What's up, Sam? All right, gang. You ready to draw? All right, let's do it. Now, to do these drawings, you have to be able to do 3 simple things. What are they? A straight line, a zigzag, or a curvilinear line. Okay? Could be like that, could be like this, could be an S-curve. You know, you get the idea. Now, anybody can do these. Why don't we start, as we very often do, with a straight line. Check it out. We're just going to go like this. All right. Now, if you've done this show with me before, you know that when you draw a straight line, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Don't sweat it, okay? Don't worry about that. This is a low-pressure drawing environment for everybody. We're going to do a little C-curve coming off that straight line. I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. Little C-curve like that. So what we're doing is we're taking this straight line, and we're curving it on down, all right? And we're going to come on down like this. How far, you might ask? Kyle, how far do I need to draw that line? Well, if you look at this line, it's a little longer than that one. Okay, that's all you gotta know. We're gonna pop out this way. That's a really tiny line, isn't it? That's a small line. Then we're going to angle back this way in line with that line. I'm saying the word line a lot, aren't I? Well, it is a drawing show. All right, now I need you to leave a little space here. You're gonna leave some space and you're gonna just make a little dot. Yoop, like that. Interesting. We don't do a lot of dots in this show. Huh. And I said you needed straight lines and angled zigzags, pardon me, and curvilinear lines. I didn't mention dots, but there it is. I hope you can draw that. All right, remember this little C curve we drew up here? Well, guess what? We're going to do something similar right down here. It's going to be a little more shallow. It's going to go like that. See that? Not quite as big as that one. Not quite as big. And then that's going to pop straight on back, but not as far as this line. Okay, so what I want you to do is look at this line and say, okay, imagine I've got about half of that. And I'm going to travel on down this away, okay? Give myself a little target to aim for, because that's about as far as I want to go here. Okay, about halfway. Now, if you need to come up here and make this line longer, we'll go for it. There's plenty of time to do so. Alrighty, now we are going to angle this back about the same length as this line, maybe slightly longer. Angle it back like that. So we've come down, out, back, dot, C curve, and back, and then angled out. See that? All right. Why don't we pop back up to the top here for a minute, okay? Because we're going to have some fun with a very wavy line. I'm going to stop this line at about where this line here is, okay? So check it out. I'm going to just go wavy. Alrighty? See where that stops? Okay. Now, I want you to come over this way, all right? And I want you to do a little C curve that's going to angle up and over, like so. Check it out. Up and over. Okay? And then just under here, a little dash that way. So we go up and over with a little dash. See how that dash is like pointing towards that line? Okay. So far, so good, everybody? Excellent. Now, we're going to come straight back from here, straight back. And then remember this sort of wavy line we did here? Well, check it out. I'm going to turn that into a wave like that. Alrighty. Now, in between here and here, I'm going to do a few more of those wavy lines, and they're going to come just past these two. So I'm just going to follow along like that. Follow along like that. Okay, you want to do another one in there, maybe a little line there. Doesn't matter. We just drew a head with some nice wavy hair. Check it out. Simple as that. Okay, here, another little angled line. We're just going to pop over this way. Bam! See that? Okay, very nice. All right, and then we're going to do a big C curve, okay, like this. Oh! Out and down, just like that. All right, now look at this line here, okay? I want you to skip a little bit of distance here. And then I want you to pop out at a slightly greater angle this way. So we're going to come down and then pop out that way. Okay? Like that. And we're going to leave a little bit of space here. And then right from the top where we started this line, okay, we're going to follow that angle like this and then just square them off. Follow them and square them off. Lovely. Okay, now in between these two, we're going to make a line out this way. How long is that line, you might ask? Well, about the same length as that, if not maybe a little longer. Okay, same thing right here, as the great Slidini says. Same thing, same thing. All right, now here we're going to come out and around, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to leave a little space right here. Go one, and then I'm going to zigzag my way out to about here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Zigzag, 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 zig. Remember that. Zigzag, 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 zig. Okay, if you say it out loud, it helps. Zigzag, 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 zig. Okay, and then we're just going to connect this back to here. Ah, very nice. Okay, now I want you to look at about where this sleeve is here. Pop over this way, okay? And we're going to make a straight line, whoops, straight line down like that. And then we're going to make a long one. Just keep it going. Choo! Nice long line. Longest line of the drawing, in fact. Excelente. Alrighty. I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here, looking at my distances. And I'm going to do a little diagonal and then travel across like this and a little diagonal back. Up, across, and back. All right. Now, I want to be careful that the next line I draw, okay, does not come all the way up to this chin of this person. Has to be lower, okay? So I'm going to draw it up to about here. See that? I want to make sure I got some space left over there. Same on this side. We're looking for symmetry here, okay? 1 and 2. And now another lovely little wavy line. We're going to wave all the way across to here. Woo, 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 like so. Lovely. Give yourself a little space here, okay? And pop up. Same on this side. And then you can square that off with a nice little rounded edge like that. Bloop, bloop. What is this? It's a birthday cake, gang. Check it out. Celebrating the birthday for this show. We're going to do some diagonal lines next to each other like this. You don't have to do this. You can decorate this cake however you want. You want to do some like little curlies like that. Check it out. Little loopies like that. You want to do some dots? You know, do what you want. It's your birthday cake, okay? You just make it look however you like. We're going to now do 3 little diagonal lines. 1 and 2 and 3, like so. And then check out this little trick. Dash, dash, dash. That's all you need for candles, okay? And check this out. We're going to make this person glowing. We're going to use symbols to do this. Straight line out, okay? And above it, we're going to draw a line that curls. And below it, same thing, a line that curls. Okay? This person's blowing out those candles. And you know, it wouldn't be complete without a nice little birthday hat. And again, you want to decorate this? Sure, put some zigzags on there if you like. Maybe some lines. Maybe you want to have some little funny stuff on top. I don't care. It's your drawing. Make it however you want. And there it is. There's a kid blowing out birthday candles on the cake, right? Because we're celebrating a year of drawing together. Alrighty, hope that went well for you. Got a very challenging Who Made That for you today. So we're gonna just jump right ahead to the Who Made That. And I'm gonna hide our birthday kid for a minute here. And here is your clue for today. And I'll zoom in on that as much as I possibly can in the hopes that you can see it clearly. You may be able to tell by the quality of the image that this is a very, very old piece of art, an ancient piece of art, therefore must be made by somebody who lived a very long time ago. Very long time ago. But let's see if anybody out there knows what this is. They do talk about this famous painting in art history classes. If you've ever gone to an art history class at college, university, or just studied it on your own, it's one of the better known paintings that is covered as part of history of the visual image. Yeah. Well, let's see if we have any guesses here in the chat. Question marks. Yes, I expected as much, and don't worry about it. Let's see here. Mercurial is drawing today with a javelin and a cup of 3-day-old coffee. That is awesome. I love it. You have much better suggestions than I do for drawing tools. Aha. Christine says, looks Japanese. Okay, looks Japanese. Yuan, Mercurial says. Yuan. Okay, well, why don't we take a look here? So just open this up. Let's reveal the artist for today. This is Fan Zhongzheng, Fan Quan. Hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Any people out there who happen to speak Mandarin want to assist me with pronunciation, that'd be great. Now, this painting is one of the few, if only maybe the only at least provable, we think, paintings surviving from this artist, but it is a true masterpiece in every sense of the word. In this Chinese tradition of landscape painting, this particular tradition in the Northern Song School, where we see a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. The middle ground taking advantage of this creating distance between these two planes by having the background have a soft transition down before it meets the middle ground and essentially disappearing. That creates this illusion of depth and distance. And then a lot of detail in the foreground and more contrast. Absolutely beautiful. But celebrating the majesty, the mystery, the magic, and the splendor of nature, something that the Chinese landscape painters were doing long before anybody else. And here's a really, really cool thing about this piece. Now, I know it's extremely difficult to see. I've circled this little area for you right here. Okay, just here in the foreground to middle ground, I'd say, of the painting. And why don't we zoom in on that and take a look. And there, look at that. There you have a herder, right? Or possibly a farmer with a few animals coming out there. They look like, I suppose, donkeys or mules coming out from the woods here on this path. And it's just such a neat thing to place just a few human and animal elements into what is otherwise just a magnificent study of a landscape. Also, this close-up gives you a chance to appreciate the line work and texture here that is not necessarily representative of what you see in nature, but is still able to communicate clearly in this graphic language through pattern and repetition what it is that we're seeing. And this is another thing that is really difficult to pull off in such a fantastic way. Anyway, so yes, it's a hanging scroll that I would love to see myself someday. I believe this is hanging in a museum in Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken, where in fact, as I mentioned earlier, I went to high school. So there you have it, Fan Quan. I mean, look at this, 960 to 1030. We assume, some people say 1032, not really sure, but that was quite a while ago, gang. About 1,000 years ago, we're talking here. So holy Christmas. Alrighty, why don't we move it along to the animal and activity now? For those of you who've watched the show before, you know that this is when you have to suggest for me whoops, hang on a minute. Guess what? It's time for Appreciation Station, everybody. Check it out. Umacorn. We are appreciating Umacorn today. Speaking of birthdays, Umacorn, do you remember when we were at the birthday party for the Sultan of Brunei land? And that elephant, all of a sudden, was out of control, was sitting on tables, was knocking over chandeliers, and you were so smart because you had your harmonica in your back pocket, and you pulled out the harmonica, and you started to play some Chicago-style blues. And if there's one thing elephants love, we all know it's Chicago-style blues. And the elephant calmed right down and just started kind of swaying to the music, and you had him enchanted and delighted. And then the elephant was okay, and everything was great, and the birthday party rolled on without any other problems. So thanks for your quick thinking. Thank you for your amazing musical ability, and I'll never forget that moment. That was really special. Alrighty, so back to drawing. Now, you have to tell me an animal doing something funny, okay? Something weird, something strange, unexpected. And we'll draw that together, okay? Now, here are some examples of what we've done in the past. Last week, we had a tiger who was pounding dough, for baking, right? We had a hippo doing the floss. Look at these great suggestions you all come up with. So today, it's going to be something new. It's always something new. We've done more than 100 episodes of this show, and I'm always surprised by your imaginations and your wonderful ideas. So why don't we see what we have today? Let's see. We have some great ideas already coming in here. How about this one? Clever says, a tiny monkey carrying a big cake. Now that can be very comical. I can imagine that working out quite nicely. A flamingo practicing Gong Fu. How about that? I happen to do a little bit of Tai Chi, but I'm I'm not great at it. But I've been doing it for years. Let's see. A moose with a mousetrap on his nose. Ha ha. A panda playing guitar. A goat struggling with a shoehorn. A lot of wordplay going on here. Yes, Mercurial, of course these are true stories. I can't believe anybody would suggest otherwise. Let's see, what else? Well, as I look at these right now, I just want to jump back here and see how I'm feeling about some of these, because we are short on time, right? I've got about 6 minutes to draw, so let's think here. I like this tiny monkey carrying a big cake. I like that. That's fun. Why don't we do that today? Let's do that today. And then we have another suggestion tomorrow. And of course, the following week. So let's just go for it. So I'm going to see how I can do this. I want to have this monkey. He's gonna be looking up, saying, hang on a minute. And he's going to be sort of one arm up this way, kind of with the cake sort of sitting up here like this. So one arm up this way and the other arm out this way. And he's trying to keep this balanced, right? And why don't we give him, it's always funny when you have animals wearing clothes. I'm just going to give him some clothing here. Whoop. I'm just adding a bit more structure here to the monkey so I understand what I'm drawing here. Alrighty. There's that tail popping out there, the back. And then here, come down, and then here we're gonna have the other leg. It's gonna be sort of facing, that shoe's gonna be facing out, and this one can kind of be more sort of facing towards us. Like, wow, that's the, there we go. Okay, and then we need to have that big old cake. And the candle is lit, but stuff is starting to slide in this direction, right? Okay, we'll knock it back and we'll grab a darker color and let's see how we do here. So I'm going to get the eyes first so that they read really clearly. There. I want to make sure those don't get lost, you know? Gonna make him look a little uncertain here. I think he's still confident he can get this delivered all right to wherever it's going. But it's a little wobbly. It's iffy, right? We'll see. We'll see if he can get it done. 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4. The other arm coming up this way and up and over. Woo. And then back we go. Get that leg up. And there's that other foot. Okay. And there's that other shoe. And finally, we just got to knock in this cake here, right? Boom, 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 boom. How am I doing on time, gang? Are we gonna make it? It's always a race. It's always a race. Woo-wee. And of course we put some shadows here because that plate is casting a shadow, right? Hey, great idea, gang. That was fun. Alrighty, let's hide that. Let's drag that over here. And I'd say that was a pretty good day. And I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Remember, please, to be kind to one another. And I'll see you again tomorrow for some more drawing fun. Until then, I will say ciao for now.